Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganana Antva Ganpatigum Havamahe Kaving Kavinam Upashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspat Anashruvanvannotibhisi Dasadanam. Om Shri Buddhi Siddhi Shakti Sahita Shri Mahaganadipate Namo Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarvamangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanyatrambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Mahashakti Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Shri Paramagurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 26th of June 2025. I'm going to offer my prostrations to all the great sages in the world today who have yet to come, who have come in the past, and to the one Supreme Parameshwara, Paramatma, the Brahma Tattva, Atma Tattva, Param Tattva residing in the heart of every being and at all times, in all places, Ishavasam Idam Sarvam. We are continuing to examine Ātma-Nivedanam Bhakti this month, until the end of this month, and we will transition into Prem Lakshana Bhakti, the 10th Bhakti. We could spend our whole life discussing Ātma-Nivedanam Bhakti, that is how tremendous it is. But I want to continue exactly where we left off yesterday with regards to the analysis and the role of Vairagyam. This word is highly misunderstood in Sanatana Dharma, and just as a seva to try to clarify its meaning properly, quick review from yesterday. The first point is that the word Vairagya refers to a stage of realization, inner development, that is beyond raga and dvesha, beyond attachment and detachment. Vairagya doesn't mean detachment. People think that's how it is translated quite often. I have Vairagya, I'm detached from everything. No, that is not its meaning at all. It is beyond attachment and detachment. That is why the word, this prefix Vai is there in the Sanskrit language. The Sanskrit language is extremely accurate, right? So Vairagya means beyond the continuum of raga, which implies raga and dvesha. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna Paramatma, he explains it beautifully that the raga and dvesha are the two biggest obstacles in realizing God, in realizing Brahman, in realizing the Atma Tattva. And this is the role of Guru or Satpurush or Sadguru. Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva is actually inside, deeply hidden inside. So the outside Guru, the outside enlightened sage, is actually the internal Brahma Tattva, that is our original form. So that has to connect together, and this is the whole role of the entire bona fide Guru Paramparas throughout the Sanatana Dharma. What is the main goal is that we awaken outside the dimension of Raga and Dvesha. If you look at the 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita, and out of that 17 questions are asked by Arjuna to Bhagwan Krishna, you will see what Bhagwan Krishna is saying again and again and again: come out of the pendulum of polarity. So the pendulum of polarity, Rag and Dvesha, that's a pendulum, it's a duality, Harsha Shoka, Sukh and Dukha. To be beyond all of this, now to be beyond it is Vairagya. And this Vairagya, this state of Vairagya where the internal Shakti of the mind, the Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, is not disturbed by the currents of Raga, Dvesha, Ahankar and Mamatva. We talked about that 4 or 5 days ago. None of those are disturbing the internal Shakti. That internal Shakti is Kundalini Shakti, that is Devi. Mahakali, Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, etc. The 10 forms of goddess, all the forms of Devi that are present in Sanatana Dharma is inside of you. That is your Kundalini Shakti. From the Muladhara Chakra going up to the Sahasrara Chakra, and then there is something called Archi Marg. वो तेज का मार्ग है, goes into the Bhagvat Dham, Mahakailas, Mahavaikuntha, Golok Dham, Brahma Dham, Amrut Dham. ये सब भगवान के सब अलौकिक धाम है. Those are outside the realm of the material world, right? So if we want to reach that धाम, जिसको भगवान कृष्ण कहते हैं in Gita, न तद् भास्यते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यत् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम, in chapter 15. So that abode is the translation into English, dham meaning the residence. It is called Brahma Mahal in Gujarati also. Brahma Mahal means a palace. It's not like a palace like this worldly palace. It's just an analogy that is given. So if we want to reach beyond the material world, Param Vairagya, Uttama Vairagya. In Vachanamrut, Maharaj is explaining it beautifully in Garada Pratham number 2 Vachanamrut. There are 3 levels of Vairagya described. That is Uttama, Madhyama and Kanishta. Uttama means the topmost level of Vairagya, Madhyam is medium level, and the Kanishta is low level of Vairagya. So these are stages. Now, in the Uttama Vairagya, how is that understood? How is that to be realized? Well, it means that the interaction, the way this is defined in Vachanamrut, and you'll find the connections in the Gita and many other places, that the 5 senses are interacting with their respective objects, people, places, circumstances, etc. And the internal objects, people, places, circumstances. Let's be clear. First of all, we have to go very slowly, because otherwise this will get very tricky to understand. We have to go very slowly. There are external objects, people, experiences, situations, circumstances outside. That is external to us, external to the body. And then there is the continuous recording that is going on moment to moment inside the chitta, Chitta, as we're alive. So in the waking avastha, all of the experiences coming from the 5 senses from the outside is constantly being recorded inside. And then that inside memory structure is called chitta, Chitta. And that is the internal world where people, places, things, objects, stories, circumstances, life events, personal identity, all of that exists within one aspect of the antakarana that is called chitta. I hope this is clear. I know it's a little difficult to understand, and please do ask questions about it. I made the recording. You can listen to it later on. In simple language, everything is recorded inside. Everything that is happening outside that is connected with this body and mind that we're experiencing is recorded. Okay. Now, but it's not just recorded. It's recorded with raga and dvesha. I gave the example of a cup of tea. You can buy those. If you go to the Indian store, I'm just use simple example. Get those, the masala chai, right? You can buy the packet inside. They have this packets. You put it inside the hot water, instant tea. And then Sachin drinks it and says, I like it. This is called raga. I don't like it because the temperature is not right. It wasn't hot enough. There's not enough cream in there. There's not enough sugar in there. I don't like it. Now, it's not dichotomous like that. There's a continuum. Oh, it's okay. I like it. It's good. Chalega, I'll drink it. It's not a big deal. But I'm not really happy with that. So the experience of the Vishayas is on a range. Before we talk about the 3 levels of Vairagya, we need to understand that the experience of the Pancha Vishayas is on a range. And I mentioned this yesterday. Please listen to yesterday's recording, because I want to spend the next several days clarifying what is Vairagya and how that intersects with Ātma-Nivedanam Bhakti. We cannot actually reach Ātma-Nivedanam Bhakti until there is Uttama Vairagya. कभी भी नहीं होगा. आत्मनिवेदन भक्ति मिलेगी भी नहीं without vairagya. Right? So without uttama vairagya, the highest level of vairagya. Now we have to understand it very slowly and carefully. The range of the Vishayas goes from highest quality experience to medium to low quality, and then it goes into even negative quality, etc. Right? So for example, take take a food item. Take any food item. Take something like 2 gulab jam, for example. If it's made fresh and you've got the right, amount of sugar in there and all the different, the liquid sugar, everything is made, and then Sachin eats it. But again, what is creating the experience that I like that gulab jam? Gulab jam, that is just an object outside. Why the experience is even there? This is a great mystery in the studies of consciousness. Right now, in the last 25 years, in philosophy, academic philosophy, in psychology, neuroscience, and many other areas like computer science and many other areas, there is a lot of research being done on experience. There is a whole theory that the AIs may become conscious. Is consciousness an emergent phenomena? Again, it's a very technical and difficult subject. I don't want to go into that too much here. I'm just mentioning it because these questions are regarding consciousness. The Vedanta has already answered this question, which these people are still trying to resolve. They're saying that the Vedantic masters have said, Sat Chit Ananda, C-I-T, Sat Chit Ananda. It is not Chitta, C-H-I-T-T-A, that is from the Antakarana. वो एक mind का function है. That's not what we're talking about. That Chit is consciousness. Chit, C-I-T. Sat Chit Ananda. There's no H there. Okay, so Sat Chit Ananda. And when you combine it together, Sat Chidananda in Sanskrit. This is the answer. But it's not just an intellectual answer. It is the realization of the Atma Tattvam that is pure consciousness. And within that Atma Tattva is Parabrahma Tattva, Paramatma Tattva, as per Vishishtadvaita Parampara, as per the more qualified non-dualism and the Dvaita Paramparas in the Sanatana Dharma. Again, it doesn't matter for our purposes here, but that experience of pleasure, sukham, coming from the gulab jam is not coming from the gulab jam. It is coming from the Atma only, but it's not the Ananda also. It is coming due to the presence of the Paramatma inside the Atma, and that Bhagavan is Ananda Kanda, the root of Ananda, where Ananda opens, comes from. Constantly it is there. And because of the body, mind, senses, and the layer of Maya, through the screen of Maya, that same Ananda now appears as Sukham. It is not coming from the Gulab Jam. It's a mistake. And that experience is also not Ananda. It is a distortion of Ananda. You see how tricky this becomes. This is difficult to understand, even to explain is very difficult. You see, so the objects of the senses, for example, Sachin is listening to, let's say, just some song, let's say, it doesn't matter, some classical raga, Rag Kalavati. So I say, how beautiful. Is the enjoyment coming from the object? Is the source of the enjoyment from the object? No. From the sound? No. The object and the string instrument being played, that is triggering sound vibrations in the air going into the ear, and because the Atma Tattva is present, it is connecting with those vibrations and it is reflecting its Shakti inside those vibrations, giving the experience to the Atma that this is enjoyable. It's a very technical answer. The point here in simple language is that the enjoyment of the Pancha Vishayas, the Sukham that is there, is limited. It is due to the Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva, Paramatma Tattva. If a person is not alive, there is no experience of any kind. That is the difference between Shiv and Shav. Jivan mein ye do hi point hai, Shiv or Shav. Shiv is living person, and the Atma Tattva leaves the body, leaves the sansar, that has become Shav. Itna hi game hai. There are only 2 points, Shiv and Shav. And while we are alive, we have the opportunity, because the human body is given, because great saints are present and great scriptures are present, we have the opportunity to realize the Atma Tattva, to realize Bhagwan, to realize that Param Tattva. We have that opportunity. Now, let's go further, one step at a time. Let's go back to the Gulab Jam. The experience is there from the five senses of the object. You know, the round shape, the smell is there, the touch experience is there. You cannot really hear much in that, so maybe minimal hearing experience, if any at all. You know, but then there is the main experience is smelling and tasting. And so this experience is recorded inside, but it is recorded with the anubhav, the first person qualitative anubhav of the object that says, this has a certain texture, certain flavor. It has so many qualities inside. And that is experienced by the experiencer. The experiencer is the Atma Tattva. The experience itself is through the body and the mind. And that's the witnessing consciousness and the object. Now you've got three things there. The object, the experience, and the experiencer. So that experience is who you are. This is where the anubhav comes due to sattva gun, rajogun, tamogun, the influence of maya. The influence of maya on the jivatma is what is called the three gunas of maya. Now what are those three gunas of maya? Well, they are the interaction between the karana sharira and the objects outside. The reaction between those two are called the three gunas of maya. I know that's a very technical answer, and it is a very difficult thing to understand in short period of time. I'm putting it in summary points here. The three gunas of maya are sattva, rajas, tamas. They are experience, wo anubhav hai. So for example, when the gulab jam is in my mouth, that is rajogun, rajas. Definitely. The sweetness, the certain anubhav, iska jo passion for that. I like it. I love it. Fantastic. Amazing, right? Vishaya ka sukh. You buy a brand new car. $70,000, fantastic, expensive car. I don't know what the model names are and all that. Not my domain of understanding. You just never got into those things. But somebody will say, wow, fantastic. You go to the showroom, polished car. It's just amazing. Drives just like on water. Just fantastic. So comfortable with every luxury inside. What is that an example of? Highest level of the experience of the objects of the bhautik jagat, material world experience. But compare that to a $20,000 car. It's different. The experience is definitely different. There's no doubt about that. And so there's that range. So the Vishayas are also Uttam Madhyama Kanishta. The whole economy is based on that. You know, people who are very wealthy, they can buy expensive things. And the experience is definite. How can you say it is not different? Obviously it is different. Doesn't matter what it is. You could buy, it could be anything, right? It could be t-shirts, or it could be computers, or it could be absolutely any object. There is a range. Uttam Madhyam Kanishta. You can buy, let's say, forks and spoons at the dollar store. And you can also go to a very high class place that has gold plated forks and spoons. Each one is thousands and thousands of dollars. The other one is only $1. And then everything else in between. Isn't there a difference in terms of the quality of that? The material is just part of the earth. Now this is where humanity is trapped. Bhagavad Gita now takes us further. It takes us further into abhyas and vairagya. Now we'll slowly begin to understand what is vairagya. So Bhagwan Krishna explains the state of vairagya in a small verse where he says, Samaloshtasma kanchanaha. Where in one hand we have a stone, worthless stone or dirt. On the other hand, $1 billion diamond. And the ज्ञानी जिसको ज्ञान हो गया है, जो ज्ञानी है, जो परम भक्त है, जिसको सच्चे संत मिल गए हैं, it is internally there is no difference between the two, because they are both parts of the earth only. They're only going to remain here. The attraction towards the $1 billion diamond and the dislike towards the dirt, this is agnan, this is maya, this is ignorance, this is darkness. किसको ज्ञान है इस प्रकार का? किसी को भी नहीं. Hardly anybody, very few. Chapter 7 verse 3 of Gita, look it up. Bhagwan Krishna Swayam कहते, out of millions someone might understand, even just to understand this, and out of that only one person may realize this state. That is how rare it is. Of course, Vyavarika Satyam, we don't treat $1 billion diamond as dirt because of the Vyavhar. But if everybody was in theory enlightened, it wouldn't make any difference at all. You're not going to eat $1 billion diamond. I mean, if you're hungry, the $1 billion diamond, you cannot eat that. You need a piece of banana or some fruit or some vegetables. That's all. ये सब महा अज्ञान है. This running after jewelry, diamonds and all those things, it is a total top to bottom maha agnani lok hai sab ye. It is not only agnan, it is maha agnan. To think that my beauty is because of some ornaments I'm wearing. Kitna agnan hai. Isse bada to koi agnan hai hi nahi. There is no agnan greater than that. Our beauty is not in these things. Our beauty is in Guru Nishta. Our beauty is in Bhagvat Nishta, in Bhakti, not in these material objects spinning our mind in 1,000 directions. Absolutely not. And when a person realizes this, with that realization, the antakarana is not pulled in different directions. In Gujarati we say, khech taan mati jai badi. The pulling back and forth, back and forth. You know, if you go to the Christiana Mall, if you go to the entrance where, like in one of those entrances, they have those jewelry stores. You know, if you just go inside there, what is the common experience? Wow. How amazing, how sparkling, how this, how that. Yes, of course, that experience is there. But we are caught up in that. We think that happiness lies through that. That is kitna agnan hai. In Vachanamrut, Garada Pratham 20 Vachanamrut. And if you look at the entire Gita, it is summarized in this Vachanamrut. Who is the most agnani? Who does not know, has not realized the Atma Tattva. The Atman is Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. I have to pronounce it carefully. There's no H there. That is Vairagyam. Vairagya doesn't mean you're going to take a expensive diamond and throw it in the dustbin. No, you have to live in the world according to the way the world, because the world is made out of 3 gunas of Maya. The most of the people in the world are Rajoguni people. Some are Sattvaguni, very few. Some are also Tamsik. Most of the people are in the Rajsik modality. They're just running based on these attractions. They are living in a state of Agnan. Bhagwan Krishna says, don't disturb them. They will disturb you on your path. Don't bother with them. Wish well for them, leave them alone. Their only destination is Punarjanma. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Shayanam. Iha Sansare Bahu Dustare, Krupaya Pare, Pahi Murari, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. 99.999% of the people are only headed towards rebirth. That's it. Nothing else is going to happen with them. So don't bother with them. Don't try to convince them on this thing, because they will not understand it unless they are ready. Pray for them. Sarva Jiva Hitava. Serve the world. Plus we have to live in the world according to the way the world is working in the economy and everything else. But by Guru Krupa, this is the real Guru Krupa. Bhagwan ke Sant ki Krupa kya hoti hai? That we can rise above Rag and Dvesh from inside. Adbhut baat hai ye. It is not a small thing, folks. Bahut badi baat hai. And until that happens, Ātma-Nivedanam Bhakti, which is the total surrender of the Buddhi, Man, Pran, Indriya, everything at the feet of Bhagwan or Bhagwan ke Sant, unke charanon mein samarpit pura karna, ye hota hi nahi vairagya bina. Kaise hoga? When the mind is pulled in 1,000 places all the time. So what to do about this? What to do about this? Again, understand the importance of Vairagya. Why? Again, remember, I said it yesterday. Vairagya doesn't mean leaving your home, running away somewhere, just not talking to anybody and getting depressed and all. That is not Vairagya. Vairagya doesn't mean any of those things. Vairagya is a state of the antakarana that has become extremely steady by the activation of the internal guru, by the grace of the external gurus. Guru Tattva is extremely important. You can make Bhagwan Shankar your guru. You can, if you have Pratyaksha guru or if you believe in particular guru, fine. That's perfectly okay. Guru Tattva is only one. Guru to do hai nahi. Dhyana mulam gurur murti, mantra mulam gurur vakyam, puja mulam gurur padam, moksha mulam gurur krupa. तो भगवान के जो संत है, भगवान और भगवान के संत, उनकी कृपा कब, कृपा is what? When from inside we are not stuck inside the domain of raga and dvesha. So if Sachin goes to the mall for a walk, for whatever reason, and I pass by the diamond store, there is samatva. There is not dvesha. Remember, this is another big problem that can happen. No, I'm moving towards vairagya, so have, just dvesha. Dvesha meaning to criticize the high level, to criticize the attractive objects. If a person begins to criticize the attractive objects, one will be stuck inside Maya in a different way. It is not a criticism of the attractive object, and it is not a repulsion towards the unattractive objects. It is samatva. Samatva means equanimity. Samaloshta ashmakanchana. Try it sometime. Here's an experiment you can try. And with this one final example, we'll stop for today because I know everybody has things to do. Try this experiment today. Most people you're all householders, you have some jewelry at home probably. Go into your home temple. Bhagwan or Bhagwan ke sant ye jo aapke saath hai. Go to your mandir. In the right hand, put the jewel. Maybe it's a ring, or maybe it's a necklace in the right hand. This is called spiritual experiment. In the left hand, go outside, your home and get some stones or get some dirt. Put that in the left hand. Make a diya. And place it in front of the Lord. Place it in front of God. And sit with both of them like this. Literally. In the right hand, the jewel. And the left hand, the dust. The dirt. This is application of the Gita. Has anybody tried to do this? Ye sadhana hai. And then what is the sadhana? Inside, bring the mind into equanimity that these are the same. Don't, our mind is, this is gold, this is silver, this is this is that. And this is dirt, this is this. This raga and dvesha is there. So take the mantra, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. Take the Bhagwan ka naam lena, Sant ke naam lene. ठीक है? And by doing so, bring the mind into equanimity and keep the Gita by the diya. Keep a diya, keep the Bhagavad Gita there, and ask Bhagwan Krishna to remove the Maya. Daivi esha gunamayi, mama maya duratya, mam evaye prapadyante, maya metam tarantite. Bhagwan Krishna swayam kehte hai, you come to me, I will remove the Maya. But we have to actually go to him and ask for that. Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan Shiv, ये सब एक ही तत्व है. Ultimately, there's only one Param Tattva. और सदगुरु, सतपुरुष, भगवान के जो बड़े बड़े संत हैं, उनके पास जाना. And this is an experiment. This is sadhana. And this is not about showing anything off to anybody. It is not about trying to become something. It is bringing the antakarana into absolute equilibrium. The Sthita Prajna state, chapter 2 of the Gita. What is chapter 2 of the Gita? Bhagwan Krishna ko Arjun is asking. Sthita Prajnasya kaha bhasha. Sthita Prajna means our buddhi becomes steady. Our buddhi is not steady. It is getting warped, W-A-R-P-E-D, warped by the sense objects. And when it stops getting warped, our internal Shakti becomes absolutely, it flows towards highest realization without obstruction or blockage. And that is what is meant by Guru Krupa. भगवान और भगवान के संत की कृपा, दिस इज कृपा. एंड व्हाट इज द अनुभव? इसमें दिव्य अनुभव है, दिव्यता का पूर्ण अनुभव है. इसमें महा आनंद की प्राप्ति है. जिसको महा आनंद चाहिए, ये साधना कीजिए. जिसको विषय में ही रहना है, राग द्वेष खेच तान, कांस्टेंट pulling back and forth, getting thrashed, and then destroying the body, mind, senses, buddhi nashat pranashyati, जो वो करना है, आप जिसकी जैसी इच्छा. भगवान कृष्ण स्वयं कहते हैं, या निशा सर्वभूतानाम तस्याम जागृति संयमी, यस्याम जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः. We'll talk about that. It's about being asleep and being awake. समलोष्टाश्म कांचनः, ये साधना है. आज की साधना ये है. After we are done today, take some time out today. Take a piece of gold or jewelry or something, put it in one hand. Go outside and get some dirt, put it in the other hand. Sit in front of the Gita, sit in front of one's guru, sit in front of God, and ask Bhagwan to remove agnan. Agnyanatimiraandasya gnananjana shalakaya chakshurum militamena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Ask and you shall receive. Jesus has also said that in the New Testament. Let's stop here for now, with lots of prayers for everybody's progression further, and we will continue on this subject further for several more days for sure. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Om Aim Reem Klim Chamundaye Viche. Om Durge Durge Rakshini Tha Tha Swaha. Om Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya. ओम ह्रीं स्वाहा. ओम श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमो नमः. श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमो नमः. ओम